Hey, welcome to Pass or Play. All right, we're reviewing Tyler Perry's Zatima Season 1, Episode 2. So, to kick it right off, we come right back to where Zach is slamming the door on Melinda's face, and Melinda coming in saying, "Oh no, not this nigga." And basically, they both realize who each other are, and it's becoming a smaller world in Atlanta. And basically, Fatima's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And Melinda's like, "We fucked." And then she said, "What?" And then kind of shocked. And then Bryce come in, "They fucked." And then it's kind of funny if it would have been like, "They fucked," whoa, 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 like those DJs with the DJ sounds. That would have been funny. But anyway, so um Fatima's like still in shock. Belinda's going off like, "You dating this dude? You dating this kind of?" She just kind of dragging um, Zach, and Fatima's like kind of in shock, and Zach is going back a little bit, and then Angela's like, "Guys, how about me and the ladies? We go outside, we talk for a minute. You and Zach and Bryce, you guys stay in here." And so they go out on like the porch or the patio kind of a thing, and Melinda lets, Fatima know that, about 2 years ago, she ran into Zach at the airport and they hooked up, and she, later found out that he was dating Karen, and, Karen does her hair, and she still does her hair. And basically, Zach ain't shit. Karen told, Melinda that Zach ain't shit, even though um it was like, why is she still dating him though? But Karen and Zach's relationship is like seemed to be like a kind of hot and cold. It's kind of toxic. But either way, you know, Belinda's like, he ain't nothing. He's just a bad dude. Now again, this is 2 years ago in context, so she doesn't necessarily know. She doesn't know presently that Zach has changed, for the better. But Zach must have some magical powers. I don't know what he got. It seems like he got some vitamin D, which is something Tyler Perry does in his plays. All right, so the girls come back in, and they kind of Angela and Melinda, they walk towards the table. Bryce walks towards the table, and then Fatima and Zach are kind of like still over by the couches before they walk over to where the dinner table is. And Fatima's like, "It's good, it's good, it's good. We're okay, we're okay." Then they sit down, and then Zach is at the table, and he's doing, I'm not doing this to you guys, but he's doing all of this towards Melinda. They're giving each other dirty looks. They could have took a little bit further, going back and forth with just like sign language, cursing people out, all that kind of stuff. But that would have been funny. But they just kind of giving each other the dirty looks, and then but Linda keeps doing subtle jabs at Zach, talking about he ain't this, he ain't that, and then and then Zach says, I think Zach calls her a hood rat. Then she gets angry, and then she's like, "You know what, Fatima, we just need to spill the tea. We just need to tell everything." And then Zach kind of goes into his side of it, which is, it was over 2 years ago. I met her at the airport. Him and Karen weren't necessarily dating at that moment that he met Melinda at the airport. They were kind of off, and he said it was a one night stand. They only slept together once, but then she started calling him 3-4 times a day. And then when he wasn't answering those, and then she started texting him 5-6-7 times a day. And then when he didn't respond to that, he went to Karen's job. Even though it is kind of weird though that she does that, and then she ends up saying, let this lady do my hair. I don't know, that's a little messy, but it's just like, maybe, I guess Karen's really good at what she do too. Karen's really good at her. She's really good at what she does too. But Melinda, like, you know what? I'm gonna stay with you. You do what you do good, which is fine. She's supporting black businesses. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm not even judging. But and then too, I would say too in this too, you can kind of see, and they do mention it that Melinda and Fatima they go back maybe to like college sorority sisters, so they kind of have the same, to an extent, the same kind of, that kind of, I would say Fatima's more ride or die, which is Zach is too, which is why they're kind of good for each other. They really are supportive of each other. But Melinda clearly doesn't like rejection, and she felt like she was rejected, so she just felt a certain type of way. And, she kind of, I think she just needed closure, basically. Hopefully, by the end of this, she gets some closure because she never really got closure. And I think that's kind of what she needed. But she also didn't like the rejection portion of it, because maybe she thought they had something. Who knows? She felt more apparently than Zach did. But that was because too he was in that kind of relationship with Karen anyway. So basically, yeah, Zach says all of that. You called me all those multiple times. You texted me those multiple times, and then you went down there to Karen and did that. So, you a hood rat, and you coming up in my house disrespecting me, talking to me in your kind of way. No self-respecting man is gonna let you talk to them like that. And he only called her a hood rat. He said, because he loves Fatima, and because of the way that she, supports him and makes him feel, that he can like contain and be, somewhat diplomatic, because he could have cursed her out. He could have called her every name under the book. He just called her a hood rat and just kind of called her on, his side of the story. So he was pretty mature, I think, considering how Zach usually would be, where, he's ready to like beat you up or jump across the table sometimes. Somebody got to like hold me back, hold me back, hold me back. But he was really like contained, and he's like, you know what, let me go. He's like, I love this woman, she means the world to me. And you know what, I'm gonna get up and take a walk. I would say that it was great to have you guys here, but I'd be lying. Let me go take a walk. Let me go cool down. And he handled it very, it was very mature, very adult. And Fatima's just kind of sitting there, trying to kind of not take one, her friend's side over her boyfriend's side, one or the other too much, to try to be respectful of both relationships that she have with them. But I think for the most part, Zach was pretty respectful. He did call Melinda out on how she was kind of coming at him, but he did it in a pretty respectful way for the most part. Though, in fairness, Melinda hadn't seen them. It's for her. It's like 2 years is still today. So she's talking off of that. 2 years fresh. I never got closure, so you can kind of see it from her perspective in that sense too. But I think by the end of this episode, she ended up getting closure, and she kind of just has to, just accept that, Fatima's in a relationship with Zach, and he may not be the same person that he was 2 years ago, and that he has changed and evolved. And hopefully she will too, and she will let it go. And then so after that, when Zach goes for a walk, Bryce follows him. Bryce is like kind of cool down, whatever. And then Bryce gets a text saying that Angela and Melinda are leaving, and for him to meet her, or meet Angela at her place. And then Zach goes back home. Zach and Fatima, and now they're kind of like in the bedroom, getting ready to go to bed, kind of, winding down. And, Zach's like, you said you don't want to, we shouldn't go to bed mad. You're not mad, right? And Fatima's like, no, I'm not mad at you. I'm good. The past is the past. Um, yeah, like the past is the past. They kind of go, and then Fatima kind of goes like, well, like how many women have you slept with? Or, like how many times am I gonna have to find out about you sleeping with somebody else? And honestly, I can see that from her point of view too, because like every time, she's accepted, he has two potential baby mamas, and okay, and she's trying to help him figure that out, getting the DNA test with the baby mama who's a stripper. They Karen, they haven't done. Did they do the DNA test and sister? She did some kind of test on sister, but I think she said it was Zach's, but I don't remember if that's exactly correct. Y'all can put that in the comments below. Let me know because I haven't seen it. I forgot what happened in that episode. I remember her getting some kind of test. But anyway, so so yeah, she's kind of accepted these two potential baby mamas. Now she has to accept that yeah, now one of her best girlfriends, or one of her best, actually her best friend that she's known since maybe college or high school, has also slept with him one time. And then so it's like, but how many more, like how many more random women or people she may know that he may have slept with, that she may know or work with, or whatever kind of dynamic relationship she has, that he may have slept with, and she has to be like told again that this is somebody else that he has slept with. So I can understand her frustration, because it's like every time she thinks they're kind of moving forward, they keep getting some like new surprise, and so that can be frustrating, because I think she's been pretty supportive and kind of not angry. She's been pretty cool considering all the stuff that's going on. It's like it's just a lot of self attack. She's like, how many women in Atlanta have you slept with? She was like 10, 75. And then, Zach is like, really, really? And then he's like, he asked her how many men has she slept with. And then he goes like, 10, 75. And he said like 200. She said, really? I know you playing right now. And so they don't sleep, they just sleep in the bed, but they don't end up sleeping together. And they end up like kind of Fatima ends up like pulling the covers over more towards her side. He's like, I thought we're not going to bed mad. She said, we not. I'm not mad. I'm ready. She's mad kind of, but she just don't want to admit it, which is cool. And then so it's the next day. It's the next morning, and Fatima, wakes up and is getting ready for work before Zach is even like awake and out of bed. She won't kiss him, but she said, have a good day. I'll talk to you later. And she stops by Belinda's house on the way to work. She lets Belinda know she forgives her, but she can't talk to Zach like that. She has to respect her relationship with Zach. That's her man. And, and to respect the friendship that they have as, friends and sisters and whatnot. But, she has to have respect for Zach, and vice versa. They have to kind of find some common ground. And then we go to this last thing, which is Zach has a meeting with Gretchen from the SEC. She's asking him questions, about the trade stock. How is he able to, get that much money from the transaction? Um, and he answers her questions, from practicing with Bryce, and Bryce kind of giving him, I studied the algorithms of the stock, and of the companies, and I was in prison for 3 years, so I had nothing but time to read and blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, those answers are good, too good. And she pulls out a picture of the lady, the wife of that, the wife of the politician or whatever. And she's like, I think you got that information because of this woman. And she has a picture of the woman, pulls it out, and she's like, I don't believe you. And then she says, why don't you tell me the real truth? And then it ends there. And then so that was it. So again, this is a good episode. I kind of do wish that maybe they were an hour, but since maybe it's the first season, they're just doing 30-minute episodes. But yeah, this is a good episode. It's pushing the story forward. It's only a couple places that we've gone so far, between like their apartment, Fatima's apartment, the stripper place. Yeah, we've only gone to like a couple different locations. So, I mean, I guess as the episodes go, maybe we'll travel a little bit more past certain sets. But I mean, I'm not judging. It's the first season. And depending on how good it goes on BET Plus, assumingly they may do a second season. I do again wish it was maybe an hour, but other than that, I like the episode. I mean, I think they were the best couple on, Sisters for the most part. Healthy, and we're building to get, to get to where we're trying to get to. So, in another year from now, hopefully they won't be having all these problems. If he is the baby or whatever, said kids, fine, he'll pay child support, he'll be in their life, and then they can kind of move on and maybe get married and whatnot, and then it'll be a different dynamic of a show. But other than that, if you like it, like below. If you have any comments, comment below. Subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then also to someone on one of the comments. It was restricted though, but on one of the comments, they said, "Why are my glasses? These are not glasses. These are just regular glasses. They're just really tinted. They're like gray tinted, but they're just regular glasses. They're not like sunglasses." But yeah, I really like them. So, and it's with the bright light, it helps. But other than that, I will see you guys later for the next reviews. And we will be doing more movies and other TV shows this week. I'll just do them as I won't say what they are yet, but I know what I plan to do. So I don't want to say everything that I plan to do this week because a lot of stuff is coming out that I am going to review, but more stuff is coming this week. All right.